Warning! The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of AJ Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guest exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dad and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Hey! Oh my God, we're back! We're here! Oh my goodness! What a road! What a road! Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, douchebags and douchebagettes. That is episode 333. That's 333 of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and it took a while to get here. And I hope you fucks are appreciative of the fact that we're here. I, of course, joined once again by my right-hand man, my brother from the same exact mother. I've checked to see if Dave is here again. We're riding, Dave, one more time for the Gipper. We survived. What a 2-week span.
Yeah, I damn near died.
I was going to say, you were on your deathbed physically. I was on my deathbed mentally. I had a mental adventure to go on. Very quickly, right off the top, we're making jokes, we're laughing. This has been a very, very difficult week for all parties involved, and I'm trying to make sure that this thing is not moving around too much, because then it's going to start making noise. Hold on 1 second here. Let's make sure that we're all good. There we go. Let's try not to move so much, AJ. Just hold that pose for the next 2 hours.
Sounds fine.
Straight.
It's moving and it sounds fine.
Okay, you're not getting like a do sound.
No, it's good.
All right.
Don't worry, I'll bitch.
It's like time out. So really quickly, this has been a tremendous 2 weeks. When last we left you, we were live to talk about the Survivor Series, what we expect to happen, what's going to go down. We are here. We are late, but we're here because I'm not going to let that son of a bitch go. I am not going to give these sons of bitches a pass. We're going to talk about what the fuck happened at Survivor.
I'm so interested. I was waiting to see, because I know what I want to say about it, but I was interested.
We're not letting that bitch go. And there's so much more other than the Survivor Series what we need to talk to. But really quickly, I like continuity. I like continuity. So when last we left you, we said our next live will be the Xmas as fuck. Part 4, the return of Xmas as fuck. And we were going to go live. Me and Dave even worked out a date, which was going to be Tuesday, December 23rd. We hadn't announced it because literally the day after we told you that we were going to try to do this, we set a date like the next day, right, Dave? I think it was like the next day we had that date planned, and then everything went to shit. Everything just went down the goddamn toilet. Everything at both houses here. So, Dave, I don't know if you want to share what it was, but you weren't feeling well. I don't know. Is there anything more than...
Oh, no. I just had a migraine from hell, dude. That's it. That's all it was. I suffer from migraines. I don't really talk about them much.
But this was a biggie.
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't had one in a really long time. I'm not gonna hold you. How long ago was that? It was a week ago, right?
Yeah.
It just went away. So when I say just went away, the migraine lasts forever, but usually it'll peak, and when it peaks, it's like I'm dead for the day. So and it's usually, you can tell when it's gonna happen. Anyone who suffers from migraines might have this, but
far more common than I thought.
Everything lights up. Like, it seems like you turn the brightness on life. Nothing's happening. You don't have a migraine. You don't have anything, right? But everything
Right.
just gets bright. The fucking monitors just went up 100. Everything's up 100. And if you don't, that's not fair. If you get to that point
That's not fair.
where everything is bright, you're
Yeah.
fucked. There isn't anything you can do to stop what's coming. It's coming, and it's just a matter of when it's gonna hit. So I didn't have anything with me. I didn't have any medicine or nothing with me to try to numb some of it. So I'm like, all right, let me just hope I can get home before. And if I can get to it and numb it enough where I can keep my eyes open, at least I'll fight through the pod. That's fine. Dude, I got on the road, 30 minutes left till I get home, and it fucking hit me like a ton of bricks, dude. I was driving like this, my eyes closed like this, fucking every headlight. I'm on the highway. Dude,
really Asian driver.
Every headlight just murdered my brain. Every bounce killed me, dude. And then it got so bad, I got nauseous. I wanted to fucking throw up so bad. Dude, I got in. And it's needed to go to the bathroom instantly. And I'm in there and I text you, I'm like, dude, I don't know. You go down to see if I can get this, like, shake this off. And there's a trick I tried before. Anyone out there suffers from migraines might try it. But I think I was just so too far gone, it didn't work. But what you can do is you can stand in as much hot water as you can bear. Like,
you did mention that. Yeah.
Burn your feet as much as you can. So I cranked it up, dude. I'm standing there. That bitch was hot. And I'm sitting there like this, work clothes on and everything, just barefoot in the shower like this. Like, fuck, dude. Didn't work, man. I said, nah, I took medicine. I laid down.
You just had to take the ride, bro.
I laid down. I think this was like 6:15, dude. And I rolled over. I think I got like a pain, like a shooting pain that woke me up, and I looked over. It was like 7:30. I'm like, "Fuck, dude, I can't." I texted you like that. I don't even know if you responded to me. I sent the text, and then I don't know. Next thing you know, it was like 4 a.m, and my head was still hurting, but I could exist at that point. So, and it just went away yesterday. Yesterday, the migraine finally went away.
That's like almost a full week.
Yep. Like, you can live with it, but when it gets like it did that day, you can't move. You're dead.
No,
you're dead
in
until
survival mode at that
until
point.
It comes down, and then you just feel it here for the next like 5 days. So yeah, that's all it was, man. I couldn't open my eyes. I was fucked.
Sometimes, because my wife suffers migraines. Sometimes when she gets a really bad one that kind of resembles like that, what tends to happen after the headache, you're not in pain, but you're like fatigued. Like tired because your body spent all that time fighting this one goddamn thing.
I don't know how much she does medicine, but for me, it's like when I take the medicine, I feel like shit after taking medicine.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
I just
Well, that's your immune system kicking in. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That shit was terrible. So I'm just glad it's finally over for now, and hopefully I don't get another one for a few years like I did before.
No,
so
let's try to minimize that shit.
Yeah,
my issue is nowhere near that. I wouldn't want to trade with you for nothing. Mine was all mental. It was for me, as everybody knows who follows the show. I'm currently in school right now for my master's. It was finals week, so I spent like 4 or 5 straight days, it was all school, and I needed to focus on it. Otherwise, there was no way I was gonna get through it. Which is another reason why I'm mentioning this, is because I apologize for it, because the YouTube channel, the social media, everything kind of went dead the last few days because I didn't have the time to allot to the podcast. I had to focus on this because this particular 2 classes sets me up for the remainder of the rest. The finals for those 2 classes are necessary to help pass the other ones. So if I don't get this one right, it's going to fuck me up for all the other ones. So I had to absolutely buckle down and get it done. Aced both of them, but I had to get it done. I had to get it done. And which leads me to my next thing before we start talking about what we're going to talk about on the show here today. Unfortunately, also during that time, the House of O has suffered a loss. My wife lost a very important person in her life. No need to get into details as to who. Just know that it's somebody who's very, very, very important to my wife, and she has been an absolute superstar, has been an absolute trooper. Obviously, initially, uh, because she was there when the person had passed, which is cool because that's the kind of my wife was the person I think that person wanted to see in those last few minutes. So it was good that she was there, but it takes a toll on you when you're the person that is there. And the first day, tough. Second day, you've slept a little bit, and you just kind of like. So today is technically like day 3. So in my opinion, I think she's handling it about as good as a human. For someone who's this is the first person in her life she's lost. She's never like people have aged in her life, but she hasn't really lost anybody before. So she's
Crazy.
handling this like an absolute superstar, absolute trooper. Uh, but I bring it up because it will affect the show, and it will affect it in this way. So I mentioned earlier I like continuity. When last we left you, we said we were going to do a Christmas as F episode. That was going to be our next live show, December 23rd. Unfortunately, just before Christmas, that week before, and then going towards Christmas. We're trying to be back before Christmas because I don't want to fly during Christmas season. But we're going to be in Puerto Rico, which is where this family member who passed away resided. They were here for care, but they live in Puerto Rico. So it's going to be a whole thing that we're going to be doing with the family. It's going to be some really strict family time, which means we're going to be in Puerto Rico, which means out of respect for the family, I will not be doing a live podcast. I can't move. I can't skip away from a funeral and be like, all right, guys, let's talk about Santa Claus. It'll be weird, okay, and disrespectful. So I'm not going to do that. So here's what we're going to do. On December 23rd, you're still going to get Christmas as Fuck Part 4. It's definitely going to happen. However, it will not be live. We're still going to bring in guests. We're still going to have a hell of a fun time. We're going to be talking all kinds of Christmas and wrestling and movies and pop culture and how much we hate Mariah Carey and all that stuff going
Watch your
down.
mouth.
Oh, see, we're already starting.
Watch your fucking mouth.
I know I can't say that in front of Alex. Alex will stab me if I say that.
Yeah, as he should.
For the last week, he's been doing the whole it's time. I can't do it myself, but he hits the note. It's time. He loves Mariah Carey and that song. So you're still going to get that episode for sure. It's going to happen on the 23rd. It just won't be live. It'll be pre-recorded because I'm going to be with the family during that time period, but I don't want to. I still want to get that content out there for you guys. So you're still going to get the Christmas episode. It's still going to happen, but I just want to let you guys know up front, it will not be live. So there'll still be a flyer to promote it, but it will state on the flyer that it's a pre-recorded event. So me, Dave, and a bunch of these dudes are friends of the show. I got to get together. We're going to celebrate some Christmas. It'll be dope. So now that we've got that out of the way and we have hit our explanations, let's get to what we're going to talk about on the show today.
Hey, what's going to be on the show today?
We're talking Survivor Series 2025. War Games took place 2 weeks ago now, and I'm still hot. I thought by now, my wife actually said, hey, it's been 2 weeks. You want to watch some of it back so you can refresh it? No, I remember all of it. I remember all of it, and we're going to talk about it here today on the show. We're also going to be dealing with airport apparel. Apparently, there's a member of the government who thinks that he has the perfect plan to eliminate those frustrating, hostile individuals who wind up at the airport. And his answer were jammies. We're going to talk about that here on the show. We're also talking about China doing some pretty interesting shit. Impossible. They're going to try to do the impossible. They're going to try to rein in the internet. They're going to try to put a cap on this. I'll explain what that means and more when we get to that segment. And of course, our main event of the evening, you've all heard the news. You've all seen it all over the internet. As a matter of fact, today, as we're recording this, which is Tuesday, December 9th, we've been hit with another goddamn swerve counter There's been a counter here on the field. The Ken freaking Perry right here. They're blocking. They're trying to fight back. But there's a new challenger on the field. Paramount Plus is making a dive to save its life. And they want to be a player, and this is the way that they're going to do it. This is billions of dollars at work. That's our main event. So let's go ahead. Let's not waste any more of anybody's time. I know you guys have been thirsting for it. I know you guys have been waiting for us for long enough. Let's get to segment 1.
Dave, it's time to start the show. Let's begin with segment 1.
Segment 1 is an easy one for us because it is Survivor Series. Now, normally, when we do these episodes, when we review or we talk about a pay-per-view that happened, I leave these for last because I feel like despite everything we talk about, at the end of the day, the backbone, the spirit and nature of this podcast is the fact that we are a pro wrestling. Oh, I got something stuck on my foot here. Yeah. We are a pro wrestling podcast first and foremost. So, despite all the conversations that we may or may not have, we always leave the wrestling as the main event. Tonight, that son of a bitch is curtain jerking. He's opening the show because I can't wait an hour. I've waited 2 weeks. I'm not waiting an hour and change to get to this. Okay? I refuse to fucking do it. So we're here to talk about the Survivor Series. I'm not pulling up any fancy graphics. That's all you get right there. The name of the show is right there. Okay? We're not pulling any extra, pictures or videos or anything like that. We're here to talk about the Survivor Series as a goddamn whole. And Dave, you said you were curious.
What I said.
You said that you were curious where I was going to head with this. So would you like to go first? Or would you like me to go first?
So how we like you talking about match 1? Like you starting just with match 1?
Just
or
right now as a whole. Overall, but without getting too specific, because we'll get specific in the matches, but overall as a whole, where did you land on this show? What did you think of Survivor Series 2025?
I think the best way to say without trying to be dramatic, I mean, I was kind of bored. Like I don't know, I don't know which way. I'm interested in where you're gonna go with this, but I found myself watching but not being attentive, and I don't know if that's because of the multi-man match, the war games. Like we talked about how the war games just kind of sometimes isn't very interesting or whatever the case may be, but
right.
It just felt. I mean, there was one match that really I kind of enjoyed, and other than that, it was like. I don't know, man. I just. I mean, I do know. It was just boring. It wasn't that good. The 2 single matches. One of them was good. The other one, we said it during our original conversation. Like we don't even know why this is happening.
Yeah, we ended up talking about ourselves more.
We didn't even talk about that match, to be honest with you. And then the open and the close. Just a multi-man match. If they drove any stories, I'm not gonna lie to you here, man. I was so detached from this that like it really is hard for me to recall a lot of the stuff that happened because
you're in the majority.
I was a little annoyed. Like I remember at one point, like I was holding my son and I'm like messing with him, right? Because I sent you the picture of him watching it when I first started. He was just like looking at it, so I'm like, I'm hyped. Like this is gonna be fun. And then I was okay for the first one. Kind of.
I'm so upset. This was my nephew's first WWE pay-per-view. But go on, yeah.
But yeah, we can get into it more. I'm talking in circles here a little bit, but I was just a little underwhelmed, man. I don't know.
You're in the majority. You're in the majority. I'm telling you right now, you're in the majority.
I don't like being in the majority.
I bypassed detached and bored. I bypassed it. I flew straight into an anger area. I was in a bright red room where everything was hot and clammy and everything that could make you uncomfortable and life was in there. I had someone chewing in my ear. It was
Oh
just
no, that's
I
terrible.
hated the show with a goddamn visceral passion. I hated it. I hated it so goddamn much. And there was one match in this entire show where I was even more upset because this match happened on this show. Because everyone, I knew the minute it happened, everyone's gonna go, "This pay per view sucked." They were gonna incorporate the whole show. Meanwhile, this one match really was not bad at all.
Mhm.
But I knew that because everyone just speaks in generalities, so I knew that as a whole,
Moved into it.
it's gonna, yeah. So this PLE, because I refuse to call it a pay per view at this point, I'm not gonna have a problem calling this one a PLE. This one opened up with the women's war game match. I'm not gonna put down who was in it because I don't I don't want to get any on them. So there were 2 war games matches on this pay per view. And before we move forward with discussing the war games, I only speak for me. You can speak on this if you wish. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, both of these war game matches, both of them, as Shannon Sharp would say, PAUF, both of them, garbage, hot flaming donkey shit, all of them, both of them, both of them. Both of them. I
hate
almost
to watch this shit now. But like, I wonder what he's gonna say. About this.
I almost went to Etsy and got custom toilet paper with the Survivor Series War Game logo on it, so I could just consistently wipe my ass for the entire holiday season with this logo's name on it. This was hot shit. And I want to preface before we get into these matches, my opinion of these 2 War Games matches had absolutely nothing to do with blood and guts, because that's all I kept saying. I kept seeing. Well, after blood and guts, after what they did, I couldn't even watch this. I'm not including that in anything because these 2 things are not a canon event. They don't exist in the same world. They are serving 2 different masters. For the kind of people that get into AEW blood and guts, that was the perfect match for them. We sat here and said that we didn't think that match was all that terrible. I said verbatim that Blood and Guts to me was a match that had the right idea. They took it too far. I would have dialed it back a smidge, but at least it had the right idea. It's supposed to be brutal. It's supposed to be disgusting. It's supposed to be violent. They were too violent, but they were there, right? They're in the room. I don't include anything that Blood and Guts did in my criticism of these 2 matches because I've seen them do better matches than this. This wasn't it, player. This wasn't it at all. The women's match. And I'm not going to go through the names because I don't give a fuck. But the person that I would like to set on fire is Becky Lynch. I need her out of here, bro. I need her the fuck out. Fuck out. I need her out. I need her gone. Someone, I no longer think that it's a gimmick. I no longer think it's a gimmick. I think she's for real. I think she's out here. She's shooting for real. I really, truly believe that she believes in her head that she's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That she's just the greatest of all time to ever live. And it's not just her saying it. ESPN said it. Bleacher Report said it. She's not the only one saying it. I'm starting to believe it. If for 2 straight pay-per-views, my wife has sat right next to me and has destroyed Becky Lynch. The WrestlePalooza match, which was, I think it was a WrestlePalooza. Am I thinking of the wrong pay-per-view? Which is the one where she had the triple threat with Lyra Valkyria and was it Bayley? And then the match that she had with Nikki Bella after that. I tried. I didn't have my whole heart in it, but I tried to defend Becky because we talked about it here on the show about cartoonish selling. That she's selling like a wild asshole. Just she'll get like tapped, and she just throws her whole fucking head and arm back like it's fucking cartoonish. And I went, surely in the fucking War Games match, she's experienced enough and wise enough to know that it is very important to take this match fucking seriously. And then this twat gets into the fucking ring. And there's the spot that everyone talked about where Charlotte's smushing her face into the ringing cage and she's doing the Jonah Hill gif. And I wanted to tear my fucking skin off. I said, what the fuck is that? Io does the fucking... And I knew this was going to happen. I said it.
I saw it. I'm like, oh, here's the spot.
They're not going to be
the spot he was looking for.
The minute Rhea Ripley came out with a custom Io Sky garbage can, I was like, we're fucked. We're fucked. And then she does the goofy spot. And I said, there's no way they can make this goofier. No, they found a way to make it goofier. Because she does the fucking spot off the cage, knocks out, she's won. She knocks out 8 other girls. And Becky, who backed out of the spot specifically so she could emote. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? They treated this match like it was a fucking cartoon. They treated this match like a fucking joke. My wife noticed the shark cage was missing. Now, apparently, on the pre-show, they had made mention that they weren't going to do the shark cage this year, that they were going to do entrances. I was pissed off at this pay-per-view 2 minutes from the start time of this pay-per-view because I didn't mind the entrances. I kind of got a little excited about it because the shark cage I get, they're in the cage, it's built up, they're building it up, but with the entrances, you don't know who's coming out. There's an element of surprise to that. I was like, all right, I could take that. I didn't realize that meant that they were good because everyone kept saying, oh, it's like the Royal Rumble. And in my head, I'm like, no, not like the Royal Rumble. Clearly not like the Royal Rumble because with the Royal Rumble, when you have your entrance, it works in your favor to take your time. Why would you rush to the ring in the Royal Rumble? Let them kick the shit out of each other whilst I make my way slowly jogging down the ramp. And then the entrances happened at War Games.
And it felt like the
Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
because
that was the first thing that came in my head. I'm like, oh, this is like a little Royal Rumble vibe.
Everyone came out in full entrance gear. They did all of their poses. They slap in 5. They walked to the ring. They took no urgency. Your partner is getting fucking sodomized in the ring right now, and you're out here just taking it. Remember when everyone made fun of Jeff Hardy because he didn't run in, but he still did his dance before he actually did it? All of them did it. The men did the same shit. They all took their time making their way to the ring. They got the full ring gear jackets on. They got to take why the fuck did you put the jacket on to walk to the ring to take it the fuck off to enter a cage? You had your jacket on for 4 seconds. Why did you even bother putting the fucking thing on? You're at war. What the fuck is happening? No urgency. Nobody gave a fuck. They gave the women I believe they gave the man advantage to the, I can't remember which direction it was, but one of them got the babyface advantage, which doesn't make sense in War Games, but they had to make it make sense because the other match has the heel advantage, which is the way it's supposed to be. Actually, now that I think about it, it was the men that had the babyface advantage, and so the women's
right,
match,
Brock came out last, didn't he?
Right. Yeah, they had that. That's another thing that people are confused about. How do they have the advantage if the other team's guy comes out last? Because that means you have your 5 in the ring before they have their 5 in the ring. And I don't
confused about that.
There were so many people. I don't understand how that's an advantage because then the last guy to come out, he's fresh. He can come in and just be. I said, right, he's fresh. The other 4 in there are fucked. That's why it's an advantage.
I don't even know why you're entertaining that shit. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Because so if obvious. if I have to entertain this entire fucking PLE, I might as well. I might as well go down the
indulge yourself, I guess.
Jesus Christ, I might as fucking well. So this whole match was Lash Legend was in it. Everybody was like, "Oh, she showed out. She didn't do shit." AJ,
she showed out.
They said Lash Legend showed out.
I gotta fucking get on these forums. You be talking like I need to read this shit, man. Because AJ
Lee won the match.
Yes,
and didn't do a fucking thing.
Wait a minute, though. We kind of said as she should, though. They did exactly what the fuck we. Listen, that's the one thing they got right. She laid low, the entire time.
But my issue isn't that they did that. We said that's exactly what they should do. My issue is that if you were gonna do that, why the fuck did she win the match? Because I know in their heads they're saying, "We'll have AJ Lee beat Becky Lynch so that it sets up AJ and Becky." You needed her to tap out to set that up. There's nothing you could have done in the match that would have given Becky a.
I don't think it was for the two of them. I think it's for AJ.
No, like specifically. Christ.
Specifically.
So I guess we'll just fuck everybody else in that ring. So they just
what the fuck. Of course, who else is in that ring?
Apparently nobody. Apparently they were in the ring with just a whole bunch of fucking nobodies. Like, we're going to put women in it, but we only really care about the other two. So everybody else just kind of chill out for a little bit, lay out. Then they had the spot where Io's on top of the cage and they have to get the garbage can to her. So AJ picks up the garbage can.
Picks her up.
She can't reach.
Oh, there you go. That was her other moment right there. That was another one.
Her moment was asking Rhea for upsies.
Yeah, upsies, yeah, for sure.
Upsies. Yeah. Bring me upsies.
What's hotter than seeing Rhea Ripley pick up a petite woman to hand another petite woman a trash can?
Oh, I'm not.
The shit sells itself. I really don't even understand what the problem is.
I'm not even saying it wasn't something that was Pornhub worthy. I'm just saying that I didn't need her to win the match. Is what I'm saying. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the women's war game match?
I already gave my thoughts. It was boring. Honestly,
no, you said that the whole thing was boring, but I'm trying to tease. I'm trying to tease the audience and trying to figure out what it was you felt was the great match. Because I'm sure.
Well, I mean, that's pretty. It should be obvious, shouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. It should be.
It should be. And even that match. And I'm glad you said what you said. But even that match kind of got tainted. But we'll get there. But anyway.
Now, I would also like to pat myself in the back and saying the order they booked it was the way that I said that they probably should book it to 4, in the way they did it.
Yeah.
But
no, it was a War Games match, and again, I know you don't like the comparison, but we can't. I don't like to look at it through the eyes of ours. I do like to look at it as the average person, or at least as much as the average person as possible. And if the comparisons were coming up between what is it? War games and Blood and Guts. Then that's kind of where we have to. No, that's where we should entertain it, because they are happening around the same time. As much as you want to say one is not a competitor to the other because one is so much bigger than the other,
can't put one was bigger than the other.
No. I'm not saying you are.
They're serving two different masters here. The audience at AEW is different.
Sure, I'm not saying that you are. That's not words that you said. I'm just saying we have to. They are competing with each other in a way, especially when you position these matches the way that they are. So if I had to choose one, which I hate to do this, but the Blood and Guts was way more entertaining. Call it over the top if you'd like. That's perfectly fine. But for me, this type of match, 2 fucking rings. Listen, you had me at 2 rings. I'm expecting this shit to be over the top. Otherwise, what's the point of 2 rings? One's got thumbtacks, the other's got glass. Which one are you getting thrown in? Like, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of hardcore wrestling. If you are, then that's fine. But that was arguably more fun to watch than this shit. I mean, it was just WWE and 2 rings. And I don't mind WWE. I come on here all the time and say I prefer it because of the storyline. It may drag. You may not get as much wrestling or stuff like that, but I prefer the storylines and the characters and stuff like that. That's why I like this. But these type of matches aren't for those type of setups. You got to get nutty. You got to get crazy. And EO off the top with a trash can, it's just not crazy enough.
That's not it, bro.
It's not it.
Especially
You've done
since
it.
it's like the
You
third or
love
fourth
EO.
year in a row. Yeah.
And listen, you can do it every year in a row, but if there was more going on, then it would just be a traditional thing. And WWE is known for their traditional stuff, so that's okay. I don't even hate on that part. You just got to do more, and it's sloppy. It's just sloppy. So if you're gonna be
That's
sloppy,
what got me. Yeah.
if you're going to be sloppy, that's fine. Then let me see some hardcore then. If I'm going to be forced to get this, then give me a little bit of this. And someone coming to the ring with a trash can to like bop you on the head with it slightly, it's okay. It was all right. It was boring. I lost interest like halfway through the match, and then I saw Io go up, and I saw her pick her. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here's the jump that he hates, and that happened. And then I'm like, oh look, AJ actually won the match, and I'm sitting there like, what did she really do? Like I find myself like, damn, I should probably rewatch this, but then I'm like, damn, then I'd have to sit through it again. Like, nah,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good. Like, whatever. I'll take the risk of looking like an asshole on the pod by not knowing the play-by-play because just so that I don't have to sit through this again because I'm not doing it.
Not necessary.
Nah, fuck that.
Now it's almost as if at this point of the show that everyone got together and just said, you know what? It's the old man's last pay-per-view. Let's just dumb it down a little bit so he can shine. Let's let him shine a little bit. Because up next was the Intercontinental Championship match between John Cena and the hometown hero, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. This was the match for me. After what I just saw, and this is where we are in life. I just saw the War Games match. Women, men, doesn't matter. I just saw a War Games match. And immediately after is Dominic Mysterio. And out loud I said, thank God. Thank the good Lord above.
That boy's working, man.
That Rey Mysterio was able to nut out one of the greatest luchadors of all time. To come out here. Rey Mysterio was so great, he was able to yeet out another great luchador.
We are dead ass watching real life Gohan. Like he is real life Gohan. Eddie is Piccolo. Like this is just insane what we're watching here. This guy is turning into one of the greatest fucking
how could you
technicians, dude.
Yes.
This guy in the ring, he knows how to tell a fucking story, man.
Remember we were saying that one of the biggest problems we had with Dom in his early run, not necessarily just with Ray, but even in his first real run with the Judgment Day, where he always was in the wrong spot. He would fuck up a run-in. His timing was really fucked up. His timing with John, he's worked so much, and his timing with John was out of this fucking world. And when I saw that finish, chef's kiss. Now, as you said earlier, that middle part started to drag a little bit. They were going a little on the longer side of that middle part. You right about that. Absolutely. But that finish.
No, I don't even think this was I didn't say this match dragged on.
You said even this match had a little, like it wasn't perfect.
No. So I will get into my gripe now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So to his timing, I think it was awesome. Even the awkward part of the getting on top and the power bomb, at the way they did that at first, I'm like, oh shit, he might have dropped them. But then as it started to play out, I'm like, oh, okay, they planned that spot. Like that's kind of dope. Like, yo, all right, we're gonna watch this shit and we're gonna play with it. Like that
took
was
a bomb
fucking,
from them.
Bro, that was so like they had me sold. I'm like, oh shit, like he's buying time, like Cena like is being the leader of this match, and he's buying time because he might have cracked him a little bit. But no, it was all to play, and all of it was planned out. So that was amazing. And then they were started to go. But my gripe comes in. I don't think this was the time for it. And it really frustrates me because I see why they did it. I don't disagree that they did it. I even went and saw the live because I'm convinced they're fucking with the audio. So I don't even know what an explosion is anymore. They even have this little meter, this bullshit meter to show you how loud it is because you can't really
how many decibels.
Yeah, because they can't tell because I think they control the audio in the building so much that it's like really hard to tell when there was a huge pop. So I'm referring to Liv Morgan finally coming back. And I've been saying, you cut me off the screen? What the fuck? No. And I've been saying
you son of a bitch
that when she comes back, this place is gonna erupt. And it fell flat. And I don't think it's because the people weren't excited to see her. I just don't feel like this was the moment that she should come back, but it did play to remember one of our biggest questions is how was Cena? I think we almost unanimously agreed Cena should take the L here. This would be massive for Ray. But
it was one of those differences of what we think should happen, but then
but it's like there's no way that he's gonna do it. And I know someone said, "Well, what if there's an interference?" Or I think someone suggested. I
think in the comments somebody had suggested Liv Morgan costing Dominic the match.
Right, but no, there was Finn. Someone suggested that Finn Balor would cost him stuff like that. So I think that would have been better than cashing out on Liv here. But for what it's worth, I don't know. I just feel like her return could have been way more impactful.
It's so funny. If I could for just a second, for those of you who either don't remember or didn't see it, it all starts with that fall on the outside. John and Dom are fighting on the outside. Dom goes onto the guardrail like he's going to give John a head scissors to the floor, and they undercut it. What I mean by that is that
it looks like
the legs. Yeah, when Dom puts his legs here to turn him around, when Dom spins, he undercuts. Instead of sliding to the side, he kind of went straight down and hit. He took a high neck bump, basically, almost like John folded him up on the floor, and that's when Dom did the sell job. He's holding the neck and the whole shebang. Here come the referees. They're backing John off. It looked legit. They did everybody's body.
I thought he botched that shit.
Was out of this world perfect. John winds up inside the ring. I still can't put into words just how that's John Cena, man. He gets into the ring.
I love how you looked. I love how you checked over your shoulder.
Yeah, gotta make sure. You gotta make sure.
He's like,
you gotta make sure.
That boy good.
That boy good. Don't worry, I have her blocked on the social media. She can't see
this. She can't see the celebration.
Big Mommy Cool comes in, gives John Cena a Tejana bomb. She gets him off the ground. Boom! Here comes Roxanne. Pop rocks. Boom, she sold a cold red for Roxanne. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dom comes in, slides in. He goes for the cover. The referee fucking won't do it. Wait a minute. You lying.
Yeah.
You lying.
He refused.
You were over here telling me that you were injured. And they're all going back and forth. Referee notices that the girls are there. So he turns over. You're out of here. And they go, what? And the girl said, what? That's crazy. You can't do this. They leave. John goes for an AA kick out. They're doing their shit. Here comes Finn and JD. We knew there was going to be fuckery, but this was beautiful fuckery. Finn and JD come in. John's fighting for his goddamn life. He ends up stiffing the absolute shit out of JD. JD gets his fucking whole chest caved the fuck in. He's trying to breathe. He got a pain in his chest, and he can't breathe. He's trying to breathe. They throw his ass into the corner. They throw Finn into the corner. John goes for the fucking double A. I don't care how old he is. He's in phenomenal shape. He's still got 2 grown men on his goddamn shoulder. And instead of doing the Edge and Big Show one, because Edge didn't want to take Big Show on his tummy because he wants to live another few years, he threw Edge first. Then he threw Big Show. Not here. They said, nah, give it to me. So he drops both of them. Boom. They roll out. All of a sudden,
props on JD, by the way, because he had to hit that top spot perfect, and he nailed that top spot perfect.
He fucking nailed it. Oh, yeah, that's the part I forgot. They both went for their little top rope moves or whatever, and John rolled out of the way. That's how he got him. Then the music plays. Here comes Liv. Liv comes down the aisle. Now, Liv, I still want to hate Liv, but she keeps doing stuff that makes me not hate her. We just said that the women's war games, everyone took their sweet time and everybody was bullshit. Liv Morgan is returning. This is the part where she's supposed to take it in. She took it in for 2 seconds and then she started running. I said, oh my God.
So
somebody with some goddamn urgency. She starts running down.
The wrong person.
She's eyeing John. She's eyeing Dominic. She slaps Dominic, which I think all of us saw coming. But then she jumps on John,
which was weird.
Then she does the eyeball thing, like the whole serious thing. They reversed it on John when John did it to Cody. She comes off of John, and then hits him in the nuts. Boom, throws him into the rope. As she's throwing him in the rope, Dom hits the rope. 619, boom. As John sails up, Liv's waiting with the belt. Bam, Dom's already on top rope. Frog splash, 1, 2, 3. Perfect execution.
Was amazing.
Perfect execution. We were giving Dom, 3 or 4 years ago, we're like, Dom is just the wrong place. He can't get it. Woo! That boy good.
Impeccable right now.
That boy good.
That boy right good. Now.
Beautiful finish. And the Intercontinental Championship changes hands. It goes back to Dom. Round of applause for John laying down for his last pay-per-view, giving the young guy a shot, giving the young guy a big win leading into WrestleMania season. Well done.
He is doing this regardless of what this road looked like in the beginning and the middle. He is really doing his due diligence and taking that star power. And if it ends the way we assume it's going to end, he is giving the, like, who was the last superstar who went out that actually gave the rub like they were supposed to? Because in my opinion, it wasn't Taker. Because he gave it to Brock, and I wasn't really.
No, that wasn't his last match, though.
It doesn't matter to me. That was the biggest thing.
Oh, when they gave the streak to Brock.
That was the biggest thing.
Because technically his last match was AJ, which, by the way, I was supposed to see it.
I mean, that's still a rub. I'm not trying to undersell that. That's still a rub to somebody, but like, I don't know. This, like, even AJ wasn't as young in the game as Dom is right now.
No.
So I mean, I don't know. I love this. Yeah. This is amazing.
Now this next match.
Oh God.
Can I put my card? Can I put my cards on the table? Can I be honest?
Skip it.
I did. No, I did.
You didn't even watch it?
I didn't watch it. Now hold on. But
you gotta watch just to see Stephanie,
Hold on. Oh no, I got plenty of footage of Stephanie. I can watch Stephanie McCurry anytime I want. That's the beauty of where we live now. Back in the old days, the Attitude Era, I needed to watch. It's probably the only reason I sat through some of that Sable stuff, but I digress. But I here's why I didn't watch it. The women's war games fucked me up.
Took you out?
John and Dom brought me back. So I said, whatever brain cells I have left, I'm going to save it for the men's war games. And I didn't make it through most of the war games, the men's war games, with those brain cells. But I at least wanted to get a head start. I've seen enough Nikki Bella in my lifetime. I didn't need to sit through it. I didn't watch it. Did you watch it? You can tell me what happened. There you go.
I saw her do her move. And
I saw that clip online. Yeah, the Devil's Kick that she just completely just
I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm completely avoiding Nikki Bella. To be honest with you, ever since she's come back, I don't understand why she's still here. I think at this point, she is doing so bad that you're just taking opportunity from someone else to have these matches, and I don't like that. You're not giving a rub. It almost as if like she's the underdog, which is weird because you're the legend. It's so weird.
That's the thing. Okay,
I know I'm gonna send you on a fucking tangent. Listen, I get it.
No, actually, I stopped arguing with people about the Hall of Fame tag because of there's an argument to be made that she did bring an audience at one time or another.
That's fair, but
there's an argument to be made, right? But my thing is that you need to if that's what you're going to give her credit for being the Hall of Famer, she needs to stay in that lane. She's not a wrestler. She's never been a wrestler. I don't give a shit how many Divas titles she won. She was never a wrestler. Ever. She has pros as opposed to just cons. She's got pros for being in the industry. She brought an audience. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of men and women out there that do like the Bellas. They do. I assume it's for the same reason that there's people out there who eat paste they make words with their alphabet soup and they'll eat bacon straight out of the pan without wiping off the grease. There's people there's a reason we put do not drink on bottles of Head and Shoulders. There's people out there that just enjoy things that they enjoy. So there's a reason for that.
They like what they like.
They like what they like. You can't put her in these positions. You want Nikki Bella to look strong? Put her in the ring with people that are designed for that.
We don't need Nikki Bella to look strong.
There's no other reason to have her on the show.
I don't care how much a fan you are. There's no need for Nikki Bella to look strong. I'm sorry. You're forcing it right now. It's just weird. Let's just get past this.
Let's just call a spade here.
Let's just get past this, please. I hate even like talking shit about it. Like it's just fucking move on.
You can't do it without sounding like a hater.
I know, and I hated it. Like I get it. She's all of Famer.
Yeah.
I'll admit that I'm even just a hypocrite because I didn't watch her era. I don't know what she did for the company. So maybe she is
a lot of this.
Maybe
a lot of this. You're
okay, well, don't tell me that. I'm trying to shoot her some bail because this is terrible. I don't know who is this for. I don't even think there are kids today who want to see this shit.
You know what my wife? I keep saying that phrase over and over, but she watched the whole show with me. That's why she keeps coming up. She said, I remember now, because remember the joke we used to have back in the day that the Divas matches were piss breaks. And she pissed during the match. And she came back, she was like, oh, I did it. I haven't done it in years, but I did it. I took a piss during the match.
And that's a shame that Stephanie's associated with this. And
did you see her face at the end of that match? She's just as upset as you are about that exact fact.
Well, they're starting to see a little bit of a Tiffany effect here. Yeah, they're starting to line her up with some bullshit, and then her run looks crazy.
On this past Monday, Stephanie came out to cut a promo. Nikki interrupted, stating she wanted a rematch, and then Raquel Rodriguez came through the crowd and beat the shit out of Nikki Bella and challenged Stephanie Vacour, and the crowd went nuts. And I don't know if they went nuts because of Raquel, or the fact they beat the shit out of Nikki and just threw her out of the ring and just said, no, a real wrestler. You're wrestling me now.
But Raquel's been on a tear lately, hasn't she?
She's been awesome. She's figured it out.
Yeah, well, hopefully this works better.
Somebody reminded her that she's bigger and stronger than everybody else, and the confidence is coming back. You can see it.
Now, give her time, man. She came off a nasty injury, so let's give her some time.
That's true. The men's War Games is last. And a lot of the criticism that I have for this match, very much like the women, but the women did something a little different. The women, okay, I felt like it was a little animated, a little cartoony, a lot of them oversold. It was just weird for War Games. This match, you used the word earlier that I will 100% tie to this match, and that word was sloppy. This match was all over the goddamn place. First and foremost, they tried to kill Braun Breaker. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know whose idea was. You know what? He's the son of a Steiner. We should doomsday device him. There's 10 people in that ring, and the only motherfucker that can't get injured is Braun Breaker. And they spun his ass around, and he landed perpendicular like this. He landed like a backslash. He was like this in the air, like this. This is where, by the way, my fingertips are his head. He landed like that on the back of his fucking head. And I screeched out loud, "No! Don't do it to him!" Oh my God! It happened later because somebody said, we got Logan Paul here. We should give him a 3D. And just like Braun, when Braun took that bump, I said, I know he's a Steiner. I know he's the son of Rick. No one told this man how to sell a doomsday device. So when I saw the Usos set up 3D, I said, no, nobody told Logan. I guarantee you nobody told Logan. And sure enough, no one told him how to sell that. He went up. A 3D works like this. You go up. You don't come down. You just go up. The person taking the move never goes down. You just go up. And when you go up, the point of the move is to meet Bubba. The two, Bubba and you are supposed to meet like this, like a pyramid. And then he grabs you and brings you down. Logan did this. He took his own 3D. He said, "No cutter for you. I'm just going to take a splash, sir. Thank you very much."
Goodness, dude.
And tried to kill Logan Paul. They were all none of this. None of this made any sense at all whatsoever. And then it happened. I don't even want to talk about the rest of the match because what happened right in the middle was all I needed to fucking see. That's it. That is it. I have defended it time and time again. This shit right here. This shit right here. I've defended it. I've defended it. I've defended it. And I'll say this again. I like Jey Uso. I like the entrance. I even like the run it back. I like the run it back too. I'm guilty. It's a guilty pleasure. I hated this. I hate it. I'm moving my fucking furniture. Son of a bitch. I hated everything about this. I hated everything about this. And when I thought it couldn't get worse because I didn't feel like the women took the match seriously. And I was starting to get the vibe at this point the men weren't either. But when he fucking called for that run it back and they did it, and he starts climbing the cage, and he's sitting on the cage, and he's doing the whole thing, and he's going fucking ape shit. It broke my fucking heart for the camera to widen out just to show all the other baby faces doing it with him, including Punk with the chair doing an air guitar. And I paused it, and I left the room. Because if not, I was going to beat my wife. I had to leave. Nobody in the room. There was nobody else in the room with me. I had to leave. I had to go into the other room and just stare at my ceiling for that. And my wife was like, "You coming back to watch this shit?" In a minute. Just let it play out because I just don't want to see the rest of that part. And then while I'm in the room, I hear Lesnar's music hit. I was like, I don't even care. It's a done deal. I've defended it. But I can't defend that. Not in the middle. Not in the middle of a fucking War Games match. Not in the middle of a War Games match. No, God damn it. There's the spray. Spray it. No, Jay. Bad Jay.
That's the moneymaker, man. That's what they're gonna do. That's what people come to see.
And I said, I'm not opposed to doing it. I don't like it there. I don't like it there at all whatsoever. One of the things that we said on on our live show before this pay-per-view is that normally for these kinds of matches, you'll start to see people pair off and you'll start to see possible storylines splintering off from the matches. The only storyline I could possibly see coming out of the women was AJ and Becky, just based on the way they booked that finish. For the men, it was almost literally the same thing. CM Punk in the ring, Braun Breaker pins Punk to win the War Games. That's going to set them up for a possible title match down the line. Or actually, no. As a matter of fact, they've announced that Braun Breaker will be receiving a title match against CM Punk January 5th on Monday Night Raw, which is ironic because I'm going to fucking be there. It's in Barclay. So I'm going to get a chance to see it firsthand. But that's the only thing that came out of the War Games. What else came out of the War Games?
I didn't like the finish.
The who pinned who, or just how they got into all that?
With the whole black hoodie thing, dude. I'm so fucking over the black hoodie thing.
The mask.
Look, you even forgot about it. That's how much.
I didn't. As soon as it happened, I went, "What the fuck is this?"
I saw it,
What
and I'm just like, dude,
fuck
we
is this?
gotta stop this black hoodie shit, man. We have to stop doing it. It's so fucking annoying now. There's no surprise. It's either somebody who shouldn't be wearing a hoodie or it's another Samoan. So when honestly, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, which Samoan is this?" Like it's like a new challenger, right? Like I don't know which one it was.
My thing is this:
when it's
I
Seth,
can tell you who it's not. It ain't Seth Rollins, which is why we see the mask and the black hoodie, all that stuff, and then he does a curb stomp and he leaves. We know it ain't Seth. We know it's not Seth. What was the point of the curb stomp? Did you really believe anybody in that building went, "Oh my God, is that Seth Rollins?" Did they crazy glue his shoulder together that quickly? That's amazing. I didn't know you could recuperate from shoulder surgery that goddamn fast. And they could have lied. And someone on the internet was like, they said, "Well, I know that it doesn't make sense that somebody could recover from a shoulder injury that bad this fast, but they've swerved us once before." That's why I keep telling you, kayfabe is real. The first time they did it, everyone bit, and then they got played. So now everyone goes, it could be though, because they got it at SummerSlam. It ain't. And since you have an inability to keep up, that's what kayfabe is. That's why you don't know. You don't know. I heard so many names. The ones that make people were like, "Is that Chris Jericho?" Chris Jericho wishes he can climb a fence at this stage in his life. There's no fucking way. Everybody was like, no. He climbed up that cage pretty quickly. Then everybody was like, "You know who it could be? With that kind of athleticism, it could be Montez Ford." And I said, "I tell you what, if that was Montez Ford, you might as well just take this block right here and just beat me over the fucking head and face." Even if I don't die, I just don't want to feel sensory anymore. I just want to feed me from a tube for the rest of my life. That's straight. Funny. What in the fuck would possibly be the positive to adding Montez Ford into anything that happened at War Games at all whatsoever? For fuck's sake, no.
I don't know.
I'm not even ruling out that it could be. I'm just saying, wow, that would be ridiculously dumb. Because even if you're a huge Montez Ford fan, in my opinion, you don't want that. Because that's thrusting him right into a high-profile situation. And if he's just now leaving the tag team, why don't we build the guy? Why don't we create a character? Why don't we give him some strong-ass wins? Why don't we build him up?
And we already tried that. We put him in a high-profile match, and
it didn't fucking work.
Instantly. One and out, that was it.
He decided to go inside the Elimination Chamber and backyard wrestle. That's what ended up happening.
And be a fan, unfortunately.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on the men's War Games match?
Dude, we don't need to do that. Let's not do that. I think we both kind of. It was weird. It was. I don't know. It was again.
I didn't even bother looking up ESPN's grade for it.
I actually feel guilty about this recap because I was so uninterested. Like even today, I was like, okay, I got some time. Let me rewatch it. And then when I was literally about to turn it on, I'm like, dude, I don't like. I vaguely remember most of it enough to where like I really don't want to sit down and fucking watch this again, dude. I just don't. I don't want to do it. The war games, like if they were 6 single matches, I would have been more inclined to do it than sit through 2 war games again. I just didn't.
I would have taken that.
I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. So I
If there was
apologize to
ever
the fans.
If there was ever
but
a time to bring back 5-on-5 tag team matches, this was it.
I apologize
This
to
would have been
everybody, but you ain't getting a deep dive on me on this, man. This shit was underwhelming for me, except for match 2. Match 2 was absolute fire, and like you said, it was misplaced. It shouldn't have been here. It should have been on a bigger card, better card, but it's what we got. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. That is Survivor Series 2025. And it's
scoop.
I can't defend it. I just can't defend it. We're on to the next topic.
Let's keep this show going. It's time for segment 2.
And we are going. I just opened up the show here by letting everyone know that I'm going to be heading to Puerto Rico very, very soon. So, the particular topic was hilarious to put on the pod here because I want to explain something to people. If I'm an American, and in America, where I live, if I pay for something, I really don't want anybody telling me what I should do with what I paid for. But the Secretary of Transportation, his name is Sean Duffy. Okay, he had some very, very good tips on how
Some very boomer tips.
Yes, very, very good tip. Because everybody here, I think for the most part, I think it's very hard at this point to find somebody who hasn't experienced air travel at this point. I think it's fairly common for most people to have experienced air travel. And yes, there are some assholes out there. Really is. And there's some people who misbehave. And there's some people who hit that airport bar way too hard at 10 o'clock in the morning. These are all factual statements. But the Secretary of Transportation, Mr. Sean Duffy, this gentleman has some tips that he'd like to give us. And if you don't mind, Dave, just really quickly. Oh, there it was. And then it's gone. But let's hear what he has to say about it.
Again, I call this just maybe dressing with some respect. Whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport. I think that's positive. If we can help someone as we're getting on the aircraft that might need some help putting their bag in the overhead bin, and you're a little stronger, a little buffer, you've been lifting, stand up and offer to grab that bag and put it up for someone who's having a more difficult time. Common courtesy and civility, I think, is going to work well.
Yes, a little.
At least you know what? At least he didn't lead with the second one and then try to slide in the second one. I meant the first one. At least he led with his complete bias. It sounds to me like this guy had went to the airport recently, saw pajamas, and was just like, I fucking hate this. And then decided to go onto his thing. He's like, no, I'm going to make a speech. I'm going to inspire people to wear better clothes.
He got up right on his phone. Call a press conference. I think people are going to want to hear this shit.
I don't know what pajamas has to do with behavior, because I'm going to be honest with you. Statistically speaking, and this is all facts, by the way, none of this is bias or anything at all. This is complete facts. People who wear pajamas places are usually pretty lazy people or like very low profile, hoodie up, headphones on. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Listen, I don't exist right now type of people. So to link bad behavior, because we know, am I weird for making this racy that we kind of know what he's kind of talking about?
Yeah, here? No.
Because even the people they kind of interviewed was a little...
Yeah.
So he targeted certain people. But if you ask me, if I see people walking around in pajamas, I feel like if you don't mess with them, they're not gonna do nothing.
Here's why initially I didn't attach race to it because of
I instantly
you.
did.
I didn't initially because you've had your fair share of experience at the airport as well. Most of the pajama people that I've seen are the whites. Most of the time that I've seen them, and it's ironic that he brings up attire when it comes to feeling better and behaving better.
Behavior.
My experience at airports, the people who are usually the loudest and the most frustrated and angry and agitated and vocal are the ones in the suits.
Yeah.
It's usually the business class, the first class passengers that usually have the biggest issues. They're usually they're waiting for their section to be called first, and when they're called, their section doesn't get called. They start getting anxious. They start getting antsy. If they had any special privileges or something that they needed for the flight, just be for either for health or for physical reasons, and it's not there yet or it's not on time. Those are the loud ones. My ticket won't scan. There's just a litany of issues. TSA when they gotta go through the machine, and it's like, I got places I need to be, and I gotta make my flight. I can't miss my. I've yet to hear one pajama person going, "Yeah, I'm irritated." It's just this. I've
heard him say it, but it's like that's as far as it goes. Like,
but yeah, those are the type of people who complain to the people next to them in the chair.
They're probably playing Pokemon on their phone or something, dude.
I know I am.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna hold you. I've been getting into it lately, but I digress. But anyway, but yeah, they're usually the ones kind of like, I don't know, dude. If anything, growing up, because I never really been a pajama person in general. I either got shorts, jeans. I don't really own pajamas. So, but I know when I would see people wear pajamas, usually the people who are talking shit about them are talking to them like they're lazy or like whatever the fuck you want to say. But to me, it was never like, oh, here comes a guy in PJs. He's about to wall out. Like nobody ever says that shit. I've never noticed that.
Watch out for the lady in the bunny slippers. She's a pistol.
I don't know. This was just a weird racy take, man. That's
as far as the attire goes for me. I've never worn the PJs, but it's just the me thing. I have to have on shorts of some kind, because I still, even to this day, and I'm going to experience it now in a few fucking days, but I still get somewhat claustrophobic in the plane. So what ends up happening is I get really hot. So I need to twist that little butthole thing on the top,
that beam of cold air that shoots you directly in the forehead.
That fucking laser of comfortability that hits you. There was one flight I took. Thankfully, it was short. It was from New York to Myrtle Beach, where my seat was broken. The shit didn't work. And when I tell you that I was fucking sweating bullets for no reason, they probably thought I had a bomb or something, because I was sweating for no reason. They're like, no, you better not like barring this motherfucker. You better be hot legitimately for real. Don't play with me.
Don't worry.
Don't do that.
Hot. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm perspiring. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I have to at least have on the shorts. I gotta have some sort of ventilation on me. Now, this is the first time that I'm traveling in the winter. I've either done like spring, summer, a fall. I've never actually traveled like December, like dead of winter.
I want to imagine it's the same, because when you're up high, it's cold up there.
I guess so, yeah. And I don't know what the actual. I'm curious, actually. While we're over here, let me look this up. Hold on. So what's the temperature in San Juan right now? Right now, as we speak, it is 80 degrees.
Oh damn!
So I'm wearing shorts, my guy. That's happening.
Fair enough.
Now you've been to Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful place.
Okay, that's so I've heard. So I've done a really good job on putting it off for 42 years.
Wait,
my streak's
hold on. You've never been to Puerto Rico?
Not one time in my.
Why do I feel like you've been there before?
Talked about it a lot when we were kids, because obviously mom's gone 1,000 times and our grandparents 1,000 times. We have relatives that are on that island somewhere, But no, I have
Well,
outright refused every single time.
I've been there.
I finally got backed into a corner. It took a death to get me on this goddamn flight.
I've been to the tourist side.
Oh,
and then I've been to like the heart of Puerto Rico. Like we got an Airbnb in the heart of Puerto Rico. So I've seen both. Like they even warn you, like, yo, there's gangs out here at night, so you might want to be careful.
I heard the same thing. Yeah, I'm more worried. I heard there's some little lizards out there that are gonna be fucking with me. My wife
oh no, buddy, those things are huge, and they're like beavers, man. You just see them roaming. And wild horses too. You'll be driving on the highway and you'll just see a horse, just kind of like there, just like.
I heard the drivers down there are pretty erratic as well. So
it was nothing crazy. You're from New York, you'll be all right.
That's what I keep telling them, but it is what it is. So for those of you out there, I wanted to drop this knowledge on you guys.
It's crazy.
Dress appropriately for the airport.
No, fuck that.
And you'll feel less inclined to murder.
Double down
next to you. Yeah,
bro.
All the comments in that video, by the way, are all like everyone should just start wearing pajamas moving forward.
Yeah, there should be a movement. Fuck this guy. Yeah, they're asking older people. The lady even said herself, "Oh, I get dressed up just to go to the corner store." Well, who the fuck are we talking to here?
But there was another person on that video who was just like, "Look, I bought the ticket. Don't tell me what the fuck to wear."
Yeah, and she was the one with the headphones and the dress down. One, she's like, "You should just be comfortable. Like, why does anybody care?
Especially for long
paid
flights.
The ticket." He's like, "Bro, I overpaid for this shit. Don't tell me what to do with this."
I get claustrophobic when I go to Myrtle Beach in Florida, and that's a 2-hour and a 3-hour flight. When I went to LA, which is like 5 and change to the other side, my asshole's never been tighter.
I want to go back to Oregon, but it's always the worst time of my life. It's the worst time of my life, but the best time of my life, followed by the worst time of my life. Like, that shit is brutal. I stayed up for 24 hours once just so that I can sleep the entire time, and I was so anxious. I woke up 2 hours in. Was it 2 hours or 3? Whatever it was, I woke up and it was like only 1 hour passed. You know what I mean? Because I went through a time zone, so it was like time was standing still. I was fucking.
That was my first time experiencing time change.
Yeah,
every time I had gone on a flight, it didn't dawn on me till the LA trip that I had stayed within the Eastern Seaboard. I had never gone the other way. So like the arrival time is. This time or whatever. I'm like, oh wow, we're gonna get there fast. They're like, no, we're gonna be up here for a minute, but that's the time land.
No. Little do you know, it's actually gonna feel like 3 times as worse because every time an hour goes back, it's gonna get stuck every single fucking time.
And then it was crazy coming back because when we came going over there in the time, like it went backwards. Coming back, the time went forward. So on the sheet, it's like, oh, you're leaving at like 7 in the morning, but you're gonna get there at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, wait, what? It's gonna take no. You're gonna be in the air the same amount of time that you were last time, but the time change is gonna.
It ain't gonna feel like it. Yeah, it's the fucking worst.
I did not get jet lag. I don't even because somebody had asked me when I went back to work. They were like, "How'd you feel when you got off the plane?" I was like, I was fine. I got off the plane.
We weren't jet lagged. We were just up. No, I think what was it? No. We were going to bed early, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, we were like going to bed early. Like we were sleepy as fuck by like 8 o'clock, and we're like, technically our time it's fucking like 11 right now. Like it makes sense that we're tired. So
your bodies haven't acclimated. Yeah.
So when we had came back, we were up fucking dumb late, dude. We couldn't go to bed till like 2 in the morning. This shit was crazy. Wear pajamas, boys.
Wear pajamas. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with our third segment. So don't go. What do I got here? Oh, there we go. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, AJ Orsini here, and I am super excited to let all of you know that we have completely rebranded the official OUM YouTube channel. We have changed the handle, we've changed the look, we have changed the feel and the vibe of OUM's exclusive YouTube channel. Now, all you need to do to access this YouTube channel, it's very, very simple. You go into the search bar, you type in OUM Network. or you can type in youtube.com/@OUM Network. It'll take you right there. This is going to be all-encompassing, every aspect of OUM officially on YouTube. It's going to be the episodes. It's going to be the shorts, the reels, the independent spotlight. It's going to be the OUM Minute. It's all of your OUM needs on the official YouTube channel. Check it out today.
Segment 3 is here, and I can't wait.
Well, we're taking ourselves now very quickly over to the land of China, because China has got a bullseye on all you fake ass crackers. No, assholes. All assholes come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and China has made the decision that they're coming for you. They don't tolerate bullshit over in China. As a fellow Chinese man myself, I am very proud. But they're going to try to crack down on influencers.
That's how you say the word, Boomer.
So China has implemented a new rule requiring influencers to have verified professional, not personal. That's the problem. They're personal. Verified professional qualifications to discuss topics like medicine, finance, and law. Platforms must now check credentials and automatically restrict unverified users from posting on these subjects to combat misfortune. The regulation, which began in October of 2025, also includes penalties for noncompliance, such as fines and account suspensions. Dave, what were your thoughts? What was going on in your head when I first sent this to you? Was this first of all, was this the first time you had heard this?
No.
No, okay, so you had heard about this story before I sent it to you.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And I also know. Oh, let me not misspeak. No, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's the right place. Like, for instance, like streamers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
God damn it. I've. You know what? Never mind. Let me not say it. I'm pretty sure it's fucking China, but just to say, they have very they're much more like organization based with their influencers, than we are, right? Like you have teams of people, right? Like you have organizations that will sign streamers to deals, kind of like record deals, but and you have to do whatever. But most, at least from my understanding, most of like the big people are like out there solo. They're just recording, doing stuff like that. Where a lot of the people, and I believe it's this area, man. But there is it's not surprising that the streaming is they're trying to lock down and regulate it, because it feels like they've been trying to do it for a long time.
Well, it's funny because I think a lot of countries at some point in time have had the discussion. The fact that China has pulled the trigger and really going full bore on trying to clamp down on what their main goal, obviously being, is to stop, or at the very least slow, the spread of misinformation. There's a lot of people online who are saying a bunch of shit, and they really they don't know what the hell they're really talking about. At the very least, I'll give people the benefit of the doubt, saying that they're not trying to be malicious and they're not trying to really damage anyone, but at the same time, they're really only speaking from their own personal experiences, not from a basis of fact or any kind of science of any kind. Like going online and just like, this skin lotion gives you cancer. I don't know if you can say that, but you're saying it confidently, so people start to actually kind of
sure. But I mean, well, hold on, because the news does that, and just because they're reputable, that means that they're allowed to do stuff that they can. I mean, I know the answer to that is yes, but it's all control, and I confirmed myself. It is China that has the homeless streamer thing, where like you'll go there and you'll go under certain roads or streets or bridges, and you see all these people literally lined up with cameras in front of them, and that's how they're like trying to make money and shit like that. It's pretty bad with the streaming and stuff like that. But in this case, to me, it's more like they're just trying to control the amount of money that goes out there, right? You don't need to be educated through a system to understand finance and to be able to educate other people who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford or don't have the mental capacity to go through a rigorous school curriculum to learn certain things that can impact your life today. And you have people who are sharing their stories and stuff like that. They shouldn't have to have a degree to share any success or even misfortune. If you had misfortune or you made a bad call, and letting someone know that, maybe someone learns from their experience, but making it so that you only can talk about it on a public forum because you had graduated from some type of school is ridiculous, and it's just all control, and they're just trying to make sure. To me, it's like you're trying to put money back into school, because if it flies and this becomes the norm, well, if I decide I want to be a financial influencer, then
You
my
now have to go to
my,
school to get a
my
degree
new
in that.
path is to go to school in order to do it. Now, if you do, and it does work out, there's almost not a guaranteed, but like there's a less contentious path because there's less people in the field because you have to go through this thing. But to me, what all that's going to lead to is more organizational stuff, right? I'm
Right.
going to graduate college, and then I'm going to filter into one of these organizations that go, hey, you need to get X amount of views on your video. You know what I mean? It's like a job. You got KPIs. You got to hit your KPI. And that shit is stressful, dude. Look, I'd rather go to a 9 to 5 than become a streamer and hope somebody watches my fucking video. And I don't know how much support they get into creating their videos either. I think it's more of a pump out the content and hope somebody watches your shit because you're gonna get let go from your now job that you went to school to do, which is fucking ridiculous. So
we do a weekly podcast here, and I get videos that get released every single day, but we're not live every day. And that still consumes a very big chunk of my fucking time. I can't imagine what that's like to be live all the time, have a team come in and cut that up and do the whole thing. Let me read what they put down for the because based on your response just now, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like you're kind of against this.
Of course, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing I can do, but it's fucking ridiculous.
Kind of makes me happy I'm not in China right now. But some of the key aspects that they wrote down for the new rule: mandatory qualifications. So influencers must hold a verified degree of official credentials to post content on regular or regulated topics, such as medicine, law, finance, and education. Platform responsibility. Social media platforms are required to verify the qualifications of creators before they can post expert content on these subjects. Enforcement penalties. The rules come with strict enforcement, including fines up to 100,000 yen, approximately $14,000, and account suspension for violations. Combating misinformation. The government states the goal is to reduce the spread of misinformation by ensuring that only qualified individuals provide advice on sensitive topics. Some of the potential impact and concerns that people have for it is it's an impact on creators. The rule could significantly impact self-taught experts who may be barred from sharing their knowledge. Censorship concerns. Critics worry the regulation could stifle online speech and reinforce state control over the information flow. And data privacy. The new system involves platform managing and processing sensitive professional data, raising concerns about privacy and security. I think this whole thing, because I'm kind of on the fence about it, there are a lot of people that probably shouldn't be talking about the shit that they're talking about. But I feel like I think the accredited institution aspect is what kind of kills it a little bit for me, because it's like you just said, like, so if you're telling me that let's say I can't afford to go to a school to get the degree, but I didn't need the degree to work in the field. So now I work in the field every day, getting genuine experience, but I can't talk about it because I didn't get the degree. Is that what they're saying here? As far as like they're very specific. They're saying for professional professions like medicine, law, finance, and education, right? Okay, so me, myself, in real life, I'm a licensed professional educator. I am a teacher in real life. I have a license. It's on the wall in the other room. I'm from the city of New York, from the state of New York. I graduated from an institution, received a bachelor's degree from that school. I have my license from the city and the state of New York to teach in public and private schools. And I'm currently in school, another accredited organization, to receive my master's degree in the same field, which for me would be physical education. So by China's rules, I'm allowed to talk about things related to education. That's what I'm gathering from this.
Mm-hmm.
Despite that, I also, in the past, if I'm going to pull this up here, again, just to remind myself, have been involved a lot through my physical education with the medical side of things. But my degree isn't in medicine.
Nope.
So despite my profession,
You
being
cannot teach people
being
about first
tied,
aid.
I can't. That's it right there. Boom. I can't do it because I don't have a degree in that. I see. That's where it starts to tighten up on me because now it's just like that might be too far.
And to be honest with you, I think it gets even worse with the verbiage because they specifically say here verified the qualifications of creators before they can post
Right.
expert content. What the fuck does that mean? Can I just make at the beginning of my video warning, this is not expert content?
Yes.
And then I'm
Yes,
good?
actually, I think that's what they're leaning towards.
But then I can say whatever I want. I mean,
Right,
it's the
but
same
at
thing
least-
right now where like there's psychiatrists. Because one of my favorite YouTubers right now is Dr. K. He's a psychologist, and
Right.
he'll do a lot of stuff online, and he prefaces everything with, I am not your therapist. I am not your this. This is not a session. We are just communicating about knowledge and educating, but that's all we're doing. This yada yada yada, and it like bars him from practicing medicine online. So so now he doesn't get in trouble for what he's doing, which is amazing, by the way. But yeah, if people like, I would be afraid to go online and like, hey guys, I've been meditating and it's been helping me with this, and start talking about medicine or meditation and what I've learned about it and what it does for me. I'd be afraid to be like, oh, you're giving expert advice. Lock him up, dude.
See, a second ago when I said that I was on the fence because I could see it both ways, the last thing that I just described kind of leads me into not liking it because I feel like it's too strict. But on the other end, on the other side of that, playing devil's advocate, I like that idea because if you start off every video by doing just that, hey guys, we're here to talk about such and such, but I just want to let everybody know here at the start, I'm not a professional, I'm not licensed, I'm not degreed in this, and blah, blah, blah. It's just an opinion. I'm just giving you stories based on my own personal opinion, and then go. I would appreciate that. But here's why I think people are starting to put it into law, or at the very least, because China's doing it, but I have heard other countries trying to work out the verbiage on doing something very similar to this, because there's a reason people don't do that. And the reason why people don't do that
it gets less clicks.
It gets less clicks because as soon as they hear out your mouth that your opinion is worthless and bullshit, they don't listen. They are listening to you because of the unspoken agreement that you know what you're talking about. By having a system in place that verifies that this person does and this person does not, it will hurt your opportunity. A lot of people out there, and this is just being 100% honest, there's a lot of people out there that know they don't know what they're talking about and are purposely selling you bullshit. But because there's no checks and balances, they're allowed to do whatever. The eliminated component to this process, to me, is the responsibility of the viewer. There's nothing in here. All of this is to regulate the person who's posting, and all of this is to regulate the person who's dispersing of the information. I think it's a little unfair to remove full responsibility from the person who's watching the video. You should be able to look at the video and go, suntan lotion give cancer, and go, I don't know about that, and move the fuck on from the video. Whereas there are people out there that will say that, sweetie, come here, look, remember that lotion you bought the other day? Look, it causes cancer. And they do it. This is the same shit we said earlier about there's a reason why it puts do not drink on the Head and Shoulders bottle. Because there's people out there that do this shit.
Yeah.
They're regulating it because there are people who are literally too stupid to regulate themselves. Even if you kind of believe it.
I don't think that's why they're doing it.
I didn't say it's the whole reason. I'm saying that there's an aspect in there that they're going to try to use to sell you. That
it's called the wool over your eyes. That's not why they're doing it.
I know, but that's the mentality that they're trying to promote to people. They're like, look, we're looking out for little Johnny and little Sally over here. They don't know any better. They're too stupid to sit here and look at the video for themselves and go, wow, this wacko is an asshole. They're going to actually eat the Tide Pod. So we have to we have to sit down and we have to legislate. Otherwise, we'll have more situations just like this. That's like, for instance, when they put the signs up in subway stations, when it says, step behind the yellow line, don't stand too close to the edge. I've been making jokes for years. It's an unnecessary rule. You don't need to put that there. But if you don't put it there, people will get hurt. Right. The idiots will get hurt. The morons will get hurt. We'll thin the herd. Take the sign down. We need more assholes.
Thin the herd.
Thin the herd. Stopping all this bullshit. Take the do not drink off the Head and Shoulders bottle. If you're stupid enough to drink fucking shampoo, he doesn't deserve to be here. Just let him drink the goddamn shampoo and we can all move on. There's a big ball being chained to the leg of society and it's dragging us down. And it's a bunch of shampoo drinkers and a bunch of cancer lotion people who are fucking us up. Take it all off. If you have to be told, it's the people they're looking out for, that this is what they're going to tell people. The people we're looking out for are the people who got the Nigerian email and immediately ran to our Western Union. This is the kind of people that we're talking about because they can't help themselves. There are a large group of people who are too stupid to live in this goddamn world. This is the same people who can't tell that the video they just watched of Donald Trump sodomizing some person online is not AI. They can't look at it and go, this looks like something he would do.
That's a whole nother conversation with itself.
But that's the spin, right? That's what when they say things. Let me pull this document back up. When they say things like the last line here, combating misinformation. The government states the goal is to reduce the spread of misinformation by ensuring that only qualified individuals provide advice on sensitive topics. That is code for we can't just let people say whatever they want because there are people out there who are so fucking stupid that they're going to buy into it and they're going to do something radical to mess with people. And we need to stop this. If you want to do this, like one of the topics they brought up that you can't talk about without being accredited is law, right? You can't give expert opinion online unless you have a law degree. Okay. Any rational person who is in a legitimate legal situation is going to do the research to find legal counsel. If you're in a legal situation and the first thought you had in your head was to go to YouTube, you get whatever you pay for. I don't think there should be anybody sitting there going, no, you can't do no.
I think that's a generational mindset though. What that specific example, because I think
find a TikTok lawyer.
I think, yeah, absolutely. There's thousands.
I'm talking about you, Top Dog. Call Top Dog Lawyer. Top Dog.
There's a lot of them. I think people will go to that first as the first option to get information before they jump to a lawyer or something like that. That's gonna.
And you know what? Because of that fact, if you go to social media right now, if you go to YouTube, if you go to TikTok, if you go to Instagram, you go to Facebook, any of those, you're going to see actual accredited lawyers on there now with their own channels.
Yeah, you can find them on there for sure.
Right. So China is saying, let's put a check mark on those guys, or let's put a verified sticker, or whatever the fuck, whatever goofy shit they'll come up with that shows some sort of accreditation. and we'll push those guys, and everybody else can suck dick.
That would be fine. That would even be just fine if you're doing a check, but you're fining people for putting their information. That I don't like, because all that tells me is you're funneling the, as you call them, I don't disagree, the dummies, but the dummies have dollars, and that's what we want. We want the dummies dollars. They don't care that you're watching. Sure. They don't care that you're watching some idiot's video and then going to drink Tide Pods. They don't give a shit. They want that, but that's $1 going to some Joe Schmo, where it should be going to something to further push things that are going to make more money. So again, back to the point. If my dream is to financially advise people, and I don't want to work for a company, and I want to work for myself and give people financial advice and coach them and do it on YouTube, I'm going to go to school so that I can get access. I can get the check mark and do it. And it becomes a new career path. And now we're funneling that information behind the paywall of an education. And that's really all what it just comes down to. The medication one, that I'm not all the way upset with that, because there are certain things with medicine you really shouldn't be taking advice.
People could die with misinformation.
I understand that, but if you're gonna hide financial and education behind a paywall of going to school, I don't agree with that, because there's a lot of that shit you can learn on your own and you can share with people. You mean I can't teach people how to make a budget? Because I guarantee you they're gonna be like, that's expert advice. So that can help someone. That can help someone today. So I think that's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Another point I'd like to put in the actual category of the non-accredited, social media influencers. You know how many lawyers, doctors, teachers, all that stuff, you know how many of them are very well educated and can't talk about it? They can't get in front of a camera and go, okay, so this is like the legal precedent, if anything should. They can't do it. They can't do it. Just because a TikToker or a YouTuber has all that personality and all that charisma and can get in front of a camera and explain something in phenomenal detail doesn't mean that it's not solid information. It doesn't have to be like,
a boring lecture.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be with the papers and the so it could be with the, they could be like a lower third, like that. Here, they could be like, what's going on?
Just because you're a good player don't make you a good coach. So
and I've met a lot of shit. As I just stated at the beginning of this segment, I am a licensed teacher. I'm around teachers all the time. They're some of the stupidest people I've ever met. They're literally some of the dumbest people on planet Earth. You give them a unit and a lesson in front of a group of kids, and they'll smoke it. Soon as they leave that building, they don't know their ass from their elbow. They don't know what the hell's happening around them.
Yep. I tease my buddy all the time. I'm like, dude, put you in Lowe's and you're the smartest human being I've ever seen in my whole life. The moment you pass that threshold, you are the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my whole life.
So damn.
Boy, oh boy. It is so night and day. That dude can run a $1 million company, man. The moment he walks out that door, he don't fucking know his ass from his elbow. I mess with him all the time about that. But yeah, it's funny. I know people like that too.
Well, good luck, all you influencers over in China. I wish you the best of luck. Let's head over to our main event.
It is now time for the main event of the evening.
It is now time for our main event, and we are here to talk about. Oh, it still says China on the bottom. My bad.
China.
My bad, China. We're here to talk about the big news here. We're here to talk about WB, Warner Brothers. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can't believe Netflix bought Warner Brothers. What an amazing move. They're now the kings of the entire market. Not quite yet, my good friends. Don't count your furry, ugly mer children before they hatch, you sons of bitches. We're not there just yet. Warner Brothers Discovery has officially not been sold as of just yet. As a matter of fact, what Netflix was able to do was they made a bid that WB actually liked the bid and actually agreed to have exclusive talks with Netflix. They haven't purchased anything yet. For everybody, once again, and there's a specific reason this news came out just after last Tuesday, so we wouldn't have been on time with it anyway for when we were going to set up to do the actual episode. But even if it hadn't, we here at Orsini's Uncensored Mind, we like to let shit breathe. We don't need to be first. We just enjoy being the best. Now, we don't need to be first. And when this news broke, everything copy and pasted. Oh, Netflix brought Warner Brothers. Netflix, they haven't bought shit yet. Even as we speak right now, we're recording this December 9th, it's not purchased. And we just got more. And then this is another reason why you gotta wait it out. You gotta wait it out because Netflix made an offer to Warner Brothers concerning a certain amount of money per share, but the total number of the deal leads us to $82 billion to buy Warner Brothers. But alas, as they used to say in Street Fighter, here comes a new challenger. As we open up Paramount, I'm going to move the banner because it's blocking the actual picture. Paramount is in the hunt. They have outbidded Netflix $108 billion. Suck it. Goddamn Netflix. Dick and balls. Take it all. No choking, no spitting. Enjoy the ride. Paramount is now trying to step in. Now, here's some funny stuff that we need to talk about. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about these specifics. So we're going to do it here on the show because that's what we do. I said it before. I'll say it again. Absolutely, our fans, the Squad of O, love nothing but absolute fact. So we're going to start with this. I wrote it down, so I'm going to read it out loud. The deal details. Okay? This is when it was just Netflix. There might be new information for Paramount, but when Netflix was the one that was announced, they were going to go into exclusive talks. This is what the deal entailed. Acquired assets, meaning what they're getting from Warner Brothers with this purchase. The agreement covers Warner Brothers film and TV studios, the HBO Max streaming service, the HBO network, and intellectual property, including the DC Universe, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones franchises. It's excluding the Warner Brothers Discovery cable television networks such as CNN, TNT Sports, and the Discovery channels. They will be spun off into a separate new publicly traded company called Discovery Global. All right, the deal value, as I said before, takes us to approximately $82.7 billion, and the timeline of acquisition is expected to be anywhere from 12 to 18 months. Now, why on earth is it going to take 12 to 18 months for something that both individuals agree on? There's a little thing called market share. And there used to be an enforced law that disallowed businesses from monopolizing in their chosen markets and fields. Now, my brain sometimes don't think good. So I saw a clip. I showed you the clip, or I sent you the clip. I won't play it here because there's some shit on there that I don't want to. Not to get off topic, but when we did the Thanksgiving show, and I had all those, when we did the clip of like the roster of people, when we're going over like what if John Cena.
Oh yeah, I can imagine
that. We pulled up the website for that, and I got flagged 3-way from Sunday because there was all kinds of shit on there, and it age restricted our segment. So I had to zoom in more on us, and it worked out for us. So I'm being very, very careful with the websites that we bring on here, and I didn't rip it. But Trump, our good feathered president, orange feathered, stated that he's curious to see how this works out. It's an awful lot of market share. I've been hearing a lot about this all over the news. It's a lot of market share. It's a lot of market share. What the fuck is market share? So for a quick second, I'd like to show y'all some shit that might help you figure out what the fuck market share is and why Netflix being involved with HBO Max is deadly, but why Paramount might actually be a pretty fucking sleazy move. And I mean that in a positive way. So let's pull this up first. Kadoom. I have this pie chart here. And what this is as of June 2025, this is from the Nielsen's company, the old school Nielsen's who used to keep track of TV ratings. They have a breakdown here how it is that people are consuming their entertainment here. As you can see, streaming is at 46%, broadcast television. If you're still broadcast, bro, seriously, 18.5%. For all you cable holdouts, 23.4%, and there's other means, that's 12%. So damn near half is all streaming. I know that everyone walks around saying, hey, streaming is the wave. Streaming is where it's at. Well, so far, it's only 46%, but I can only assume this number is growing. They broke down here on the side how some of that streaming is broken down. 12% going to YouTube, which I thought it was weird that they included YouTube, but YouTube does have its own.
YouTube
it does
is
have
the
its
king.
own. Yeah, YouTube has its own platform, same as the others. Netflix at 8.3, Disney 4.8, and I'm not going to go all the way down. You guys can figure out the rest of that. Tubi's in there. Tubi's higher than Paramount Plus. I want that on the record because it's going to help us with the conversation moving forward. So I wanted to give you an idea of what this meant. This is technically one big market. Now, each individual, obviously, it's its own market. It's market within a market. But the entertainment aspect, this is it. So I'm going to pull this back now and talk specifically more on just the streaming aspect. And I was able to get a little bit more recent in October. So let's show this. This is the U.S. video streaming market here. All right, I found these. I have the little emblem here on the side, so we shouldn't get in trouble. We should be all right. But here we go. This is as of October of 2025. This is the breakdown. I was surprised to see this, so I did more research. But so far, 22% of the market when it comes to streaming belongs to Amazon Prime Video. Now, at first, I was surprised by that because you see Netflix here. I'm going to take the banner down so we can see that. Max at 13% here, 12% Disney, Hulu at 11%, Paramount at 9%, Apple TV at 7%. This little sliver of shame is Peacock.
So
and the
where is WB and YouTube?
Okay, so on this particular chart, it doesn't mention YouTube. That's why when I ran into the other chart, I was very surprised that one did, because all the other ones that I can find didn't include YouTube. That was the only one. So for this,
okay, go ahead.
I think the reason why they don't is because of the type of platform. Yes, YouTube has its own streaming platform, much like all these other ones, but it's also very heavily user-based. These are not user-based services. So I think that's why they separated it. I'm not sure. It's an assumption. I'm no expert, right? So when we look at this chart, though, I was very surprised. I expected Netflix up there. I expected Max. I expected Disney. I did not expect Amazon to be that high. So I looked further into it. And a lot of the reason that people are explaining to me why this number is so high, because it is accurate, but the reason why it's so high, and I feel stupid because I learned about this and I realized, oh, duh. A lot of Amazon Prime are also sold and used on Amazon Fire Stick and televisions. They have their own means, and it's fucking hilarious because I can't turn the camera without fucking it up. I'm in my bedroom as we speak, and my TV is an Amazon TV. The first thing I did when I got the TV was logged in under my account. So it actually makes a lot of sense because it's easier access when it's already on your fucking TV.
Okay.
A lot of these TVs aren't defaulted to Netflix or Max or Disney. This TV came with Amazon Prime Video. You just had to log in. It was like right fucking there. So I was like, all right, cool. So I was very surprised by that. But here's Netflix at 21%. We already expected that it was the Goliath. Right underneath it is Max, then Disney, then Hulu. Now, another interesting fact about this chart is that Hulu, in and of itself,
is with Netflix, isn't it?
No, it's now owned by Disney.
Disney, that's what it was. Okay,
it's owned by Disney. So I looked at the article that gave me this picture, and they specified that yes, while Hulu is technically owned by Disney, it is still at this current time because they're
Yes,
going to
it's
change
not.
that.
It's not
still
completely integrated with Disney yet.
right. It's still its own streaming service for the moment, so they're still keeping track of it. That's why it's there. But it is owned by Disney, so that 12 and 11 isn't 12 and 11. It's 23. So this right here
Puts
alone
Disney at 1, Prime
puts
at 2,
Disney,
and Netflix at 3.
yes, it puts Disney ahead of Netflix. Now, Netflix and Max together, if Netflix goes through with the deal, if they're allowed to go through with the deal as far as market share and the legal stuff it gets involved, that 21 and it becomes, it starts at 21, it becomes, adding 13, 34. That makes Netflix and Disney both above Amazon Prime Video and fighting neck and neck for that top spot because they ate up and gobbled up the other top services.
No, that puts Netflix far ahead.
Well, 34% to 23% on Disney and 22%. Yeah, it puts them at least almost
well ahead.
Yeah, 10% more, right?
Like so Trump said, that's a lot of market share.
That's a lot of market share.
Of a very bad Trump, but you got to go with it.
Now here's where I say, in a good way, what a fucking coup. If way down here, over at lonely old 9%, Paramount pulls it off and changes that 9% into a 21%. And 22. Now Paramount, would it be 22? Yes, 22%. This one, Disney was at 23%. Netflix would stay at 21%.
It puts Paramount in the game.
It puts them in the game. They become players now with access to that. And there's one other part of this. I want to pull this back so we can get into our conversation. I immediately thought of you when Netflix made this decision because we sat here and did a whole segment on the CEO of Netflix stating that he feels like movie theaters is like a whole outdated system. That if it were up to him, he wouldn't even bother himself with it. Now, after that segment, me and Steph did a segment where we were very surprised because
didn't he actually go all the way in by saying he's trying to actually help cinema? If I remember correctly, didn't he say
he says
he's trying
in his own
in some way. I forget exactly what he said, but I remember us talking.
I remember it being a very nonsensical answer, but yes, that he was trying to help. He's not really trying to help anybody, or at least that's what we thought, until me and Steph sat down and did the homework and realized that Netflix, out of nowhere, has began integrating their content into movie theaters. When we went to go take Alex to go see K-pop Demon Hunters, and we were trying to buy tickets to Stranger Things, and we can't because it sold out the very morning that they went on sale. The tickets went on sale like 8 or 9 in the morning. I went in line at 10 o'clock. They were all gone. I'd have to travel to another state in the boondocks where no one lives to go find Stranger Things in a movie theater. Netflix, when people heard that Netflix was going to buy the WB, everyone's first reaction was, well, there goes the movie industry because he's not going to want to put these movies in movie theaters. But Paramount is a movie theater company. They've got absolutely no problem at all putting movies that are being made from that company into the movie theaters. They don't mind at all. They would love the idea of doing both movie theater attractions and streaming site content. There's a vibe right now that Paramount looks right now like the underdog in this. Like they're trying to get into the fight.
But if you're old school and you're worried about market share, Paramount taking it actually is the favorable trade because it keeps it balanced.
If anything, it adds a third leg to that balance. It makes it a little bit more diverse than just the two powers that be. If you include Amazon in that,
three right now because Disney hasn't finished their. Because technically, what's happening to Hulu would, in theory, kind of happen the same way with whoever takes Warner Brothers, right? So
Right.
when they do acquire it, it's still going to be its own entity for a little while.
We don't actually know that. There could be some liquidation between departments. I don't. What is it? The company say we're eliminating redundancies. You know, when there's too many people in the same department, all of a sudden now this payroll is getting a little high. It's getting a little tough. It's getting a little tough to explain to the old accountant. So I'm not entirely sure that it's gonna remain its complete own entity. But one of the things, and not to be selfish about it, but one of the things that I thought was hilarious is excluded assets was the television stations, the TNT and the TBS, home of AEW. And AEW right now streams live on HBO Max, which Netflix also has a wrestling show that streams live on Netflix. Not so sure that they would want to keep both, unless, to your point, they kept the two.
The war's not their fucking problem.
No, it's not. But if someone got in the room and was like, we should really start consolidating on genres, and wrestling came on the table.
No. Hold on. Loyalty meets loyalty. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't WWE do something with what was it, ESPN?
Yeah, they're on ESPN for their
correct.
PLEs,
Isn't that with Disney?
Yes, it is.
So then why the fuck can't I take AEW then?
I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying
you're not loyal to me. So why am I gonna cut something? You know what I mean?
Well, hold on, because it's not really. Is it really a disloyalty situation when the
absolutely not? Which is why I'm curious why you mean if they were to get TNT, you know what I mean? Like
if they were to get Max, why would they cut AEW?
Yeah, okay. That's what you said. Yeah,
that's what I said. Because here's the thing: I don't think they have to do anything. Shit, if Netflix wants to take AEW Dynamite and move it to Wednesday on their programming and just say, fuck it, I'll do 2 shows, one on Monday, one on Wednesday, nothing can stop them from doing that.
Absolutely.
But I have a sneaking suspicion that if I'm Nick Khan, I head over to Netflix's office and be like, you don't need that program. We got plenty of program. You want a Wednesday show? Throw NXT on there. Throw AAA on there. Throw TNA on there. We got plenty of programming. You don't need AEW. Why would you want to pay them rights fees when you're already paying us rights fees and we have all the we can fill that quota alone. You don't have to pay twice, just pay the one time.
It's not your fucking business. It's not your business why I want to.
It's not, but
why are you paying them? Why are you paying ESPN? Why are you giving them leverage?
Because that's what leverage. But again, Netflix negotiated for Raw. It's
okay.
They didn't negotiate for everything else, so they have no hand in the everything else. It would be like if you were to reverse that, right? Like I just said, if Nick,
I was going to say, I can say the same thing going the other direction,
right? But if I was to flip it and say, okay, you're right, I don't have to pay them rights fees for the other show, and you have plenty of content. But if that was the case, why didn't you offer me the content from the get-go?
Exactly.
And we could have just worked out a deal. Right. Which, if I'm Nick Khan, I go, okay, because you paid X amount of dollars for Raw and to pay for the PLEs, SmackDown, NXT, AAA, TNA, it would have cost you this much. Ooh, I don't want to pay that much. I'll just stick to Raw then. Fuck it. Unless that number is so high that it's actually feasible to still keep AEW on their programming. Because that's another thing. If I'm Netflix or Paramount for that matter, from anybody, do I liquidate Max at all or just keep Max?
Why would you get rid of Max? It's the
like
third
service.
Yeah. But it's the third. It's one of those things like if you were to buy Nathan's Hot Dogs, right? You wouldn't change the name Nathan Hot Dog. It's a staple. You would leave it. You would own it. It'd be different owners, but you would still leave the name because people know the name. You're not going to change it to something. You're just restarting branding for no fucking reason.
That's if you're a smart businessman, because I have seen some people take fucking, okay, this worked, and so now I own it now. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to make it more me. So how about this? I can see someone going, it's Nathan and Tom's.
Yeah, but we're talking juggernauts who understand data and algorithms. I don't take them as stupid.
I can't even go that far, because you and I sat here with, like, for instance, the management or the administration of TKO, the guys who work over at Endeavor, billionaires with a B. They own everything. They have no idea what's happening below their little castle and what's happening in the fringes and in the, who fucking knows? Remember, we just had the conversation about, well, we want to change the PLE names, except for by the way, we were going to talk about this last week, but we missed it, about the TikTok comments. One of the clips when we were talking about,
that's right.
I think it was the one where I was saying that I would have a hard time being negotiated off of the Big Four. Like, I'm open to the other names, but the Big Four would kind of would mess me up if it wasn't the Big Four anymore. And someone wrote in the comments, they already announced that they weren't going to change the Big Four. And I was like, really? And I looked it up. That they said that after our shit aired. So it's like, we didn't know that at the fucking time. So, okay, that's fair, right? But on that initial reaction, right? That was one of the things that we said. You'd have to be a fool to take something like as an example, WrestleMania, and go, okay, we own it now. We can call it whatever we want. Let's just erase that from the board and put whatever you want. Like, you'd have to be an idiot. In this current situation, I didn't think that this was going to be something that happened at all. I think everything's on the table.
That's fair.
I could see them leaving it as its own entity, even leaving the crew. Like, leave it the way that it is, because it's working properly. We just own it now, which means we're getting all the proceeds and all the money that's made from it now comes into us, filters into us, and we get to make decisions either creatively or functionally as a business as far as how it's going to be ran. It's also now going to be incumbent on the owning company, whether it be Netflix or Paramount. Now we have to start thinking about branding and marketing, because that was the issue with HBO Max. It went from HBO Max. There was somebody posted a picture. It was like, this is great branding. And they showed the first logo, HBO Max. Then it showed the logo of when it became Max. Then it showed the logo of when it went back to HBO Max. And now it just says Netflix. So it's like the new logo for HBO Max, Netflix. So it's like they had a branding and a marketing issue before, which is probably how they wound up in this position in the first place. But now it's going to be incumbent on the new owners to figure out how they're going to do that. Yeah. Disney figured that out fast. They immediately started rolling out commercials. I couldn't go anywhere, even on the app itself, of now you can get the whole package of Disney, Hulu, and ESPN together, which is ironic because ESPN wasn't on that list at all. Just not a. I downloaded the ESPN app the day that I bought it so that I could look for the pay-per-view. I never touched it again, and I got rid of it because the only thing on there is either live sports, which is ironic because most of the sports that are live on the ESPN app are not the sports that I want to watch because they don't have the fucking rights to them. I gotta go to Amazon to see my goddamn basketball games. I gotta go to fucking Peacock sometimes has football games. Amazon sometimes has football games too. But like, it's all over the place. All the sports are on all different streaming.
And wrestling's in a weird ass category, halfway down the screen, off the screen. You got to like scroll over to find it. I forget what category it's under. But the one thing that is, I mean, I guess that's unfair to say, but like, I can find collegiate wrestling before I can find the WWE wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah,
and if your whole purpose of doing a deal with WWE is to, I mean, say what you want, give props when it's due. When Peacock got WWE, they made it an exclusive tab for it. It was very easy to find, locate, and it was all concise within its own section. There was no getting lost. This shit, it took me like 10 minutes to fucking find it. I'm like,
the only time that I
thing?
really find it is when it's already on live, because then it's part of that
Because it's
cascading
part of the
row of
right.
yeah.
But I went
Yeah.
afterwards, and it's like
If it's not live, you got to go looking for it
off the screen.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's not
fucking
there.
insane.
Yeah.
It's like genres or some weird shit. It was
Yeah.
something weird. I don't know. You're not really trying to push your new thing if that's what you're fucking doing.
Your new favorite toy. So yeah, there's a lot of talk about the market share and what this will do. There's a lot of people right now, a lot of people that I'm not qualified to talk against.
Be careful. You're gonna get
I know.
fined.
It's an opinion-based story.
Tell you what, put a pin on this. Go to college. Then we'll talk about it.
Learn economics and
I can't talk because I'm not going to fucking college. But you are a very determined person.
This is my second time in college. I'm not doing it.
Out of spite, you do that shit. So yes, go ahead.
Just to be petty.
I'll fucking wait.
Oh man. So yeah, that's basically the conversation we wanted to have about Netflix and their role and everything.
And we'll stay on this shit too because this is
it's not done.
This is not done. I'm actually on the edge of my seat here.
As a person who has a Max subscription, I'd like to see how this ends. I want to know where my money's headed.
Hey, look, bro. What if Netflix now it's all rolled into Netflix now? One subscription?
Man. They're still gonna raise the price.
Oh, they'll raise the price. But they're not gonna raise it $13. I mean, how much is Max? $20 for the good one?
I paid yearly, so I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
Oh, fucking well, sorry, brokey thoughts. My bad.
I bought it for the 12 months, so I don't know.
That's the way to do it.
I haven't set it and forget it.
Am I right?
Yeah. just take your money and get out of my way. I want to scroll.
That's it.
So we're all done with that. Speaking of being petty, we've done a really good job of not talking about this on the show because, quite frankly, I just didn't give a shit. Because I just didn't give a fuck. But there's a new development that is making me giggle so hard.
Okay.
We've stayed away from Diddy this entire time. We haven't said anything about any of this. But me and my wife have made the decision. We are gonna watch this shit on Netflix because I cannot.
What the 50 Cent documentary?
Yes.
I want to watch that too.
Okay,
I want to watch it too.
I want to watch this because
yes,
there's nothing but listen. I don't want to be insensitive. There's some people in there who are going to be talked about that were legitimate victims, and there was some legitimate evil shit happening during this time period. Legitimate. So I don't want to come off as insensitive, but when you got 50 Cent doing interviews with the cheesiest smile, I mean, he can't believe it. 50 can't believe this is happening right now. He's just, I got this motherfucker right now. Son. Yo,
Mr. Petty himself, man.
This is all the memes and everything coming out, and it's all true. There's a certain level of hate that can only be achieved by the greats. And this man is a first ballot D1 level hater.
There is no one that can hold a grudge professionally like this man, dude.
I've never met a man in my entire life where I've said to myself, I really don't want to be his enemy.
Oh, no.
I
love 50. Hey, for whatever reason, 50, you my favorite, man. Like, I grew up on you. Like,
you the GOAT.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? You the
never a bad word from me.
I will never forget, and I'll end the show with this because it's too funny. This is the best. It's the best quote I've ever heard from him in my entire life. And I forgot what interview he was doing. I don't know if it was Breakfast Club or Drink Champs. I can't remember. But they were talking about him and his beefs. And he was talking to people who was like, ask him, right? Do I ever want a problem? He's like, I don't ever want a problem. I always tell people that. I don't want a problem. But when people come to me and say they want a problem, I say no problem. I say no problem. You won't be.
I believe him too, man.
That's it. I say no problem. You want to do this? Let's do this. The only motherfucker that ever successfully survived a beef with 50 was Fat Joe, and that was only because Fat Joe rolled. He rolled into it. You know how most people they have a beef and they squash it. and they don't fuck with each other. They just stop the beef. That's it. I'm just not gonna fuck with them no more. Joe, like, yeah, I want to be your friend, son. Can we not do this no more? Like, dude, I just want to be. Can we just hang out and just be cool and be features on each other's songs and shit?
Don't
Yeah.
fuck with 50 unless you're willing to take it there, because he's gonna take it all.
You gotta
the
be willing
way,
to go
bro.
all the way because
He's gonna go all the way.
he's a crazy dude. He is a crazy dude, and he did, despite all of the laughing and the giggling and the joking, he did an interview where he actually hit it on the head. In my opinion, for everybody who's giving him shit for putting this back, because there's people out there that are giving 50 shit for this. Oh, why you turning on your own people? You're destroying your own culture. You try to tear a black man down. All this stuff. 50 Cent said, and I believe it. He said, I believe that I have to say something on behalf of hip hop, because if I don't say something on behalf of hip hop, that's hip hop's way of saying that they are okay with the behavior and okay with the actions that this man did and took throughout his life and career. And I don't think that we should be okay with any of the shit that he did. So here it is, boom. And then they sent there were people who, I think it was Diddy's lawyers, they sent a cease and desist to Netflix to get the documentary shut down because it was all personal footage and da. And they said we can't shut it down because it's not paid programming. And they're like, what? They're like, yeah, everybody who's on this shit volunteered. No one took a dime. And I promise you that was the plan. I promise you.
100%.
They purposely said, yo, we can't pay you.
That's the problem with 50. He knows the loopholes, bro.
He knows.
That's you don't fuck with someone like him, bro. Because I'm telling you, he's too smart.
I can't.
He's too petty and he's too
I
smart.
cannot wait to see this. I cannot.
Yeah, I'm
wait
actually.
to see this.
I heard about it the other day, and I really want to sit down. I'm shooting for this weekend. I really want to watch that.
I really want to watch it. All right, guys. So it was good to be back here today. It was nice to be back on the show. I have a lot of editing I got to do, and so we're going to. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but in 2 weeks, it's going to be Christmas time. Christmas is fuck. Me and Dave are going to record it next Tuesday, and then I'm going to have to record something else for Tuesday. So we'll see. I don't know how that's going to work. I know your schedule is not all that great, so I'm probably going to have to do it on my own or clip something up. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But so we will. You're still getting 2 weeks of programming in the next 2 weeks. I just don't yet know exactly how that's going to fucking shape the fuck out. So thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for enjoying. And of course, I messed that all up. I always mess up. Who cares? I'm sober this time, by the way. Thank you for enjoying the show. We'll see you guys absolutely next.
Like drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.